I'm sure everyone is really excited to see what this quiz says. Am I an atheist, a theist, a pantheist? What in the world am I? Let's find out. So, I came across this other quiz that purports to tell you if you're religious, which I really don't need, but I figured, hey, why not? Then I saw at the top of the quiz that 68% of people who take this quiz turn out to be pantheists. Yeah, there's no bias there, is there? So, this isn't just curiosity, this is a science experiment to see what I get scored as. Am I an atheist? Or am I a pantheist? I already know the answer, but let's see what the survey says. Do you believe that one God created the universe? No. I don't have any reason to think that the universe was created at all. I certainly have no reason whatsoever to think that any gods of any kind are real. And all of these questions have a priority slider, which I really don't know how they affect the outcome, so I'll just guess, I guess. I'll say this is very important, not to me personally, but as a position statement. Evidence and reality matter. Do you believe that the universe exists of itself without the need for a creator? Well, that's just an extension of the last question, isn't it? I mean, clearly the universe exists, and since we see no evidence of any kind of creator, the universe obviously doesn't need one. So, high priority because of reality and all that. Do you believe in two or more gods? No, I believe in no gods, and all for the same reason. No evidence. And I'm not sure why they needed a separate question for two gods when I already rejected one god. But hey, nobody ever said these quizzes were efficient, did they? If you believe in a creator god, which I don't, do you think this god is greater or older than the universe? Well, no, I don't, so no preference. And it really feels like atheists ought to have been done after one question. Do you believe in any gods? No, you're an atheist. Take the rest of the day off. But that's apparently not how this works, so let's go on. If you believe in a creator god, which I still don't, do you think that this god is directly present in every part of the universe and in you? Nope, does not apply. Now, I'm sure that their survey engine is pretty weak, but is it too much to ask that if you're not religious, then you would get exempted from all of the silly religious questions? I mean, that makes sense to me. Do you feel a deep reverence or awe for the universe? Nope. I mean, it's a cool place to live, not that I really have any choice, but it is what it is. It's a place we all evolved. I enjoy studying some aspects of it, but reverence? What's the point? Do you have an intense love for nature? Nope. And I think that the inherent bias of this thing is showing through, especially when you notice which words they're capitalizing. Universe, nature. It's like they want you to worship these things. But no, I don't, as I already noted. And I have no priority for these things either. I don't care. These are things that are completely irrelevant to me. Do you think that humans should live in harmony with nature? And there's that capitalized nature again. And sure, I guess. I mean, in the sense that we need nature to continue to survive, we have to at least care if we're destroying our own natural support system. But this is really low priority stuff for me. It's common sense, and it's really not worth being that paranoid about. That ought to remove me from the pantheist camp, right? Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath either. Do you think that other species have rights? Well, they have the rights that we give them, nothing more. They don't have any inherent rights, because there's no such thing as inherent rights. If we wanted to hunt a species to extinction for sport, Sure, we could do that. There's nothing to stop us. I know that probably pisses off the tree-hugging idiots, but there's nothing out there that inherently gives any animal species, ourselves included, the right to live. We ought to protect other species if it's beneficial for us, but otherwise, Do you feel that everything that exists is in some sense one? No, that's stupid. All of this woo-woo spiritual nonsense is idiotic. People need to grow the hell up. Would you like a natural funeral so that your body or ashes can be recycled into nature? I don't care. I just don't. Now, I know I've said this before, but when I die, I don't give a damn what happens to my body. I don't even want a funeral. Throw my body in a ditch. I don't care. I'm not using it anymore. What happens to my physical remains is entirely irrelevant. Save the money on a funeral. Go do something useful. Do you believe you have a soul that will survive the death of your body? Is there evidence for a soul? Because if not, I don't believe in it. Sure, there are a lot of people who, for entirely emotional reasons, want to survive the death of their bodies, but that's not defensible rationally. There's no reason to take that kind of wishful thinking seriously. So no, just no. Do you believe that events can happen that defy physical laws? No. Again, reality matters, and we have no evidence of any kind that any kind of supernatural is even possible, much less demonstrable. So far as we have any evidence, the physical is all that exists. Come on back when you've got evidence to prove otherwise. Do you believe in the efficacy of prayer to directly affect external events? No. Talking to yourself doesn't actually do anything. All of the studies on intercessory prayer show that it works at a rate no better than chance. This is another place where I'm not going to believe it until it's objectively proven. Do you believe in the efficacy of magic to directly affect external events? That's still a no, and that's equally stupid as the last question. Magic doesn't exist, except in the Arthur C. Clarke sense of any sufficiently advanced technology being generally indistinguishable from magic. But even that isn't magic, so no. Do you believe in invisible beings such as spirits, ghosts, etc.? I believe what I can detect objectively. I believe in things for which there is demonstrable objective evidence. So long as there's no evidence for those things, then I do not and will not believe. Do you regularly practice any ceremonies and/or rituals? Well, I guess that depends on what you mean by those terms, but in the religious sense, no. I don't do anything remotely attached to anything supernatural or spiritual or religious or anything along those lines. I find the whole idea absurd. Do you accept the Darwinian theory of evolution? Well, since it is the best supported scientific theory in all of biology, absolutely. Of course, it's not really the Darwinian anything, which leads me to believe that the writer of this quiz is pretty scientifically illiterate, but for the sake of argument, I go where the evidence leads, and the evidence very clearly shows that evolution has and continues to occur. Do you respect science and the scientific method? Well, I recognize that they work, so I guess yes. I don't know about respect, because respect in this situation has no real application. I don't have to respect my car for the engine to start when I turn the key. It works because the physics behind it is sound. But sure, whatever. Do you think that the basic stuff of the universe is entirely physical? Well, that's what the evidence shows. We still have no evidence of any kind that there's anything beyond the physical, material world. Wishes and dreams and hopes and magical unicorns aside, I live in reality. More people ought to give that one a shot. Do you believe that physical reality is an illusion or projection of consciousness? I don't see any evidence that would lead me to that conclusion. Now, it should be painfully obvious by this point in the quiz that if there is no objectively defensible and demonstrable evidence to support a conclusion, I'm not going to pay any attention to it whatsoever. So no. Do you think that the universe is made up of both physical stuff and spirit? Didn't I just answer this one? No, there is no reason to think there's any such thing as the spiritual. There's no evidence to support the existence of anything beyond the material world. And so long as that's the case, I'm not going to believe in anything for which there is no evidence. And that's not going to change. So that was the last question, and it asked me to predict what my results will be. And of course, it doesn't give me just atheist. It tries to shoehorn in secular humanist, which is a label I wholeheartedly reject. But I don't really have a choice, so I guess I'll take it. All right, let's see what I actually got, expecting some form of pantheist. Well, at least I'm atheist first before they started trying to force me down the pantheist road. And look at how many variations of pantheist they stick in there. Scientific, agnostic, dualist, Buddhist, they've even got pantheist. It's no wonder 68% of all quiz takers were some form of pantheist. Like I said, almost all of these quizzes are biased, but this might be one of the more biased that I've seen. They want to make really sure that you're on their side, and even if you're not, they want to pretend that you are. Nothing I said could even remotely be taken to mean that I'm a pantheist. I'm anti-pantheist. I think the whole thing is stupid. I'm 100% atheist, full stop. I don't believe in any gods. I don't believe in any woo. I don't really care about the universe as an object of reverence. I'm a rational person, and I think the rest is just dumb. I have no interest in being dragged around by the nose by people who want me to bow down to a tree. And that's the most frustrating part of these stupid quizzes, because I know that no matter what I say, I'm going to get categorized into something that isn't so. No, it really doesn't matter. It's just a stupid waste of time, which is why I keep wondering why so many of these tests work so hard to force people into something that just doesn't fit. Am I overthinking this? Yes. So what?